Hey everyone, I hope you are well. Welcome to another mid-month. Now, this one is for the Generation X's, the Zennials, the Millennials, and of course anybody who is interested in knitwear in popular culture throughout the decade. I thought it would be fun to round up some of my favorite looks in some of my favorite TV shows and movies, and what's more, I have rounded up some of the knitwear dupes found on Ravelry or similar if you wanted to recreate some of these looks. Think of this video as a kind of lookbook to inspire your next cast on, or to add to your knitting cues, or in fact to inspire you on how to style your existing knitwear pieces. I have also tried to incorporate some thrifted items as well as hand knitted items that also go well with some of these characters. I have 7 movies and TV shows to go through. I have tried to include mostly patterns that are readily available currently on Ravelry. There are some vintage patterns that I couldn't resist including, but I have given you a heads up on those that are either not available or are only available as part of a collection. A lot of these looks are from the 1970s and the 1990s. What can I say? Those decades just had the best knitwear looks. Okay, so before we get started, just a quick foreword on cultural appreciation versus cultural appropriation. So looking back through at these older TV shows, especially the American TV shows, one thing that came up for me is the popularity back then of indigenous inspired motifs and knits in knitwear. When I tried to find similar patterns to recreate such looks, I think they weren't as available as perhaps they may have been in the past. And I'm not too sure whether this is because these styles have fallen out of favor, or because we are a little bit more sensitive to cultural appropriation with regards to mass producing motifs that have a cultural significance in a minority culture. But I think if we decide that we would like to knit some of these knits, especially from cultures that have been exploited and marginalized, I think it's prudent, as a matter of course, that we should try to engage with these cultures to find out what the significance of such cultural motifs are before we adopt them in our fashion choices. We can support their businesses. So without further ado, let's get into our first TV show. It's got that samba sound. We start off the list. At number 1, we have a 1970s gem, The Good Life. Middle-aged suburban chic from the 1970s, this British sitcom from the BBC ran from 1975 to 1978 and featured 2 couples who lived next door to one another in Surbiton, an affluent London suburb. The neighbours' widely different lifestyles led to comedic hijinks and misunderstandings. So you had Tom and Barbara Good, hence The Good Life from their surname. They were our starring couple who gave up corporate jobs to live off the land and homestead in their semi-detached home in suburbia. So that's the premise of the show.
And it's raining.
You are having a little moan, aren't you?
Well, it's important. We need all the daylight hours we can get. The nights are drawing in, you see.
Yes, well, they usually do in autumn.
Yes, but they're keeping us inside. We shouldn't just be sitting about doing nothing. No. We should be using these long evenings like the crofters do. They don't just sit about chatting on the long evenings. They mend their nets and knit fair jumpers.
You can't knit.
Neither can you.
Well, mend your nets.
I haven't got any nets. I'm just saying we should be utilising the time.
Oh, yes, you mean like mending our working clothes, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Now, you, for example, should be doing exactly what you are doing, which makes you a clever dick.
Tom Good lived in hand knits, or, of course, knits that were made to look handmade and well loved. Think oversized turtlenecks, waffle knits with holes and hand-mended patches, and cable sweaters layered over shirts and paired with jeans and Wellington boots. A pattern I think would fit Tom Good would be this half fisherman's rib by Rita Taylor for Blacker Yarns. The sizes range from 35.5 to 47 inches for this pattern. Okay, so dipping into my thrifted stash of knitwear, I have a sweater that I wear all the time that I thrifted around 2011, 2012 when I lived in Barcelona, and it is well, it doesn't have a name because it's just thrifted, but this is the sweater that I think Tom Good would wear. It's like this old man, it's pretty oversized. It doesn't have a label, so I don't know where it's from or what decade, but I don't even know if it's hand knit. All I know is that it is well loved and it's warm. I don't know the composition. I don't know if it's wool. It's one of my cherished thrifted pieces. It actually reminds me of my cat Ajax, and whenever I wear it, he's always extra cuddly. So yeah, so this is my Tom Good, let's say, sweater that I like to wear sometimes. His wife, Barbara, a pint-sized homesteading style icon. I have always loved her timeless, understated style, which had a utilitarian elegance and fits perfectly with my own personal style. She wore oversized men's shirts, fitted jeans and cute tops, plaid shirts, dungarees, oversized spectacles, and layers, and of course, cozy knits. The sweater Barbara is wearing here seems to be a large cable and possibly half fisherman's ribbed or simply ribbed. A similar sweater to what Barbara is wearing here is the Mabel sweater by Rita Marquez. It's available in bust circumference 71 to 157 centimeters. Kind of fits the bill of Barbara's sweater. It's a relaxed fit crew neck with chunky cables and texture in the way of moss stitch or seed stitch. I also found this top by Michael Kors, and it's the Aran top number 2, a form-fitted all-over textured tee with cables, and that I think has the feminine retro styling that would look great with bell bottoms if you wanted to go for the Barbara look, or dressed up with a jacket or a skirt, or dressed down with jeans and a plaid shirt like you've just been working on the allotment. I would be tempted to knit this, but with a fluff yarn, some mohair or alpaca in there, which I think would look lush. The Aran top is available in sizes 30 to 42 inches. Okay, so next we have the next door neighbours in The Good Life, Jerry and Margot Ledbetter. They are the glamorous and upwardly mobile couple next door who stuck to their corporate jobs.
Mr. Bailey, I want to see you in my drawing room at once.
Won't be a minute.
That is correct. You will be 10 seconds.
So there isn't very much knitwear there, but there is some. Problematic but sweet Margot didn't really wear much knitwear. She favoured brightly coloured silk dresses, muumuus and scarves. But her banker husband, Jerry Ledbetter, could always be seen in a black, brown or cream turtleneck, layered under his suit jackets, like this smart saddle shoulder turtleneck number by Drops Design. This sweater is available in sizes S to triple XL men's. Alright, so keeping up with the 70s theme, let's go on to TV show number 2. Now, before we get into it, please do not confuse me with somebody who watched this show on a regular basis, because I did not. However, whenever I did catch clips of the show, I thought they managed the styling pretty well, pretty accurate or true to what the 70s was like. Not that I was alive back then, hey. But we are talking about That 70s Show. Now, That 70s Show is where quite a few household names from the 2000s, for example, Ashton Kutcher, Laura Rippon and Mila Kunis, they got their big breaks. So let's begin with the character Donna Pinciotti, who was played by Laura Rippon, formerly also known for her work on Orange is the New Black. She frequently wore vintage-inspired knitwear that captured the essence of 1970s fashion, especially the fashion revival of the late 1990s and the early 2000s. Her style, tomboy 70s elegance, think baseball raglans, dungarees, high-waisted jeans paired with cute feminine tops, fitted ribbed picot Henley t-shirts, like this scallop-edged pullover by Lauren L. This top is available from the range of 34 to 54 inch chests. Or we have the Amy Polo, a sporty polo by Gudrun Georges. And that's available between the sizes of extra small to extra large. This particular pattern, however, is where you will have to go on the hunt to find the original place where it is printed, or via the designer's website or collection. With this character, I also love her penchant for stripes, boho blouses and tops and t-shirts that look like they could be knitted in variegated yarns, like, you know, variegated sock yarns. But her signature look is the baseball raglan, and I found 2 patterns that fit the bill. One I may even knit myself. The first is the 2-color baseball tee by Laura Bryant, available in 34.5 to 51.5 inch bust. This pattern was featured as part of the publication Knitwear Spring 2013 and can be bought from Interweave, but I think you could have a lot of fun picking out contrasting yarns for this one. And the Ballast Ruby Raglan by Vera Sinon in sizes 33.5 to 50 inch bust. available through Knit Scene, their 2014 edition. I love the lace detail and the 3/4 length sleeves here. I love that it looks like the pattern of the yarn overs, look like little paw prints. Okay, so moving on, next character from that 70s show. Next we have Jackie Burkhart, who is played by Mila Kunis. She is the queen of the twin set, whether that's crochet hats to match your blouse or cardigan and t-shirt set. She is known to accessorize with bright little scarves, rainbow sweaters, and patterned pop socks. Her style is very femme, very juvenile, but always cute. This twin set is really something. If you search on Ravelry for twin sets, you get 6 pages of mostly vintage patterns, naturally. Some cute, some dodgy, but most are out of print or unavailable currently. So if you ever find yourself down a Ravelry rabbit hole, I do recommend a browse. Twin set for a plump youngster. Can you imagine if someone came out with a pattern with that name nowadays? People would be up in arms. How times have changed for the better. Twin set for your fluffy teen or a thick ute twin set. And she's not even plump. Like, what? I could definitely see the character Jackie wearing something like the Sophie scarf by Petite Knit for sure. And I know it's not the same, but this brown top with the blanket stitch detail on the cuff of the sleeves reminds me of the Bifurca vest by Tati Lutsak. And this pattern is to fit bust circumferences 73 to 153 centimeters with intended 0 ease. We also have the gorgeous rainbow cardigan. Jackie's looks to be a kind of mohair, and I found the Harlequin cardigan by Heide Marie Kaiser, which is a lace plus light fingering. So potentially you could hold as a couple of strands of mohair together and go down a needle. It looks like a quality pattern. Sidebar. In my experience, I feel that I personally need a higher quality cardigan pattern than I do for a sweater pattern for some reason. I think it's more important for a cardigan to fit really well as opposed to a sweater. A sweater, you can sort of make it work with the styling, but I think there are too many issues that you could have with a cardigan, with an ill-fitting cardigan. Just a side note. So I can imagine her also wearing something like the pressed flowers vest by Amy Christophers in perhaps 1970s colors, browns, oranges, and yellows. And this is available in bust size 95 to 190 centimeters. Or additionally, this cute Fair Isle style sweater vest by Janet McMahon, which is a free pattern and is available in sizes small to extra large. Okay, so at number 3, we have Cult TV show to end all cult TV shows. Can you tell what it is yet? Twin Peaks ran for 2 seasons from 1990 before being cancelled in 1991. And then there was a revival series in 2017. But for the purposes of this knitwear rundown, we will just be focusing on the first season in 1990. So this TV show was directed by the surrealist filmmaker David Lynch. The show featured eccentric, beautiful women doing what they do best, wearing beautiful knitwear. Okay, so jokes aside, in general, all the characters are draped in lots of flannel, plaid, argyle sweaters. So it's got that cozy small town vibe essentially. I also focus on 3 of the main characters that I think had the best knitwear looks. However, I have also given some honorary mentions to other characters on the show. So let's begin with a character called Donna Hayward. We see her here on the right, who has a look of Winona Ryder, I think, about her. Her style reminds me a lot of both the hand knit styles that I am drawn to and also the vintage pieces that I personally picked up in thrift stores I will show you momentarily. She's partial to lots of boxy colour work or block colour sweaters and cardigans paired with A-line skirts and tights. Let's appreciate some of Donna Hayward's looks from season 1. She wears a few Argyle colourwork styles in the show, and I found this cute Argyle cardigan that I think would have measured up to her signature piece. It's by Kim Hargreaves, but sadly, it seems out of print. A lot of the Argyle style patterns I found online are sadly also unavailable, so I tried my best to feature mainly patterns that are available at the time of putting this video together. I found one by Drops called City Diamonds, which is a free pattern that you can find easily within the Drops pattern database on their website. And this particular pattern is available in sizes small, medium and large. Next up for Donna, we have this fun colour block cardigan, which kind of reminds me of a Mondrian painting. I found the Colour Block Cardi by Judith Shangold available in sizes 33 inches to 54 inch bust, which looks to be a moss stitch pattern. There's not much info on the pattern on Ravelry, and the colours are a bit uninspiring, but I think this cardigan knitted perhaps in bold primary colours could look pretty cool. Next we have Donna's Wave cardigan. She has in red and black and with the wave motif in the middle of the cardigan. I have a couple of options for this. There is a pattern called the Waves by Lopi Istex, but it's not available on Ravelry, but if you search online you can find it as a pattern available to buy elsewhere, and this pattern is available in sizes small to extra large. And then there's a free Drops pattern, also available in small to large. Then there's Donna's Fair Isle style pattern yoke, which reminds me of Caitlin Hunter's Sadotna. Yeah, you know this pattern. But Donna's version is long lined and has bobbles, which I can't say I'm a fan of, but the option is there should you want it. Okay, so I would like to also take a moment to show you a couple of sweaters that I have thrifted that I also think would be in the style of Donna Hayward. Something that you don't often see today in modern patterns and modern knitwear is sort of the sweaters with the shiny lurex yarn woven through it. But I have one. Now guys, this is a great sweater. So I have worn this sweater in the past for work Christmas parties. It's warm, but yet you still have like the dark color if you're not really a fan of Christmas sweaters, bright Christmas sweaters. So I have worn this sweater in place of like a festive type of sweater. However, I don't wear this sweater anymore, really, if I'm being completely honest, because of this. It's sequined. Yeah, it's a sequin butterfly, and it's so old that a lot of the sequins have fallen off or are falling off. It's a piece that I have loved in the past. And next, I think this would be a pattern that would fit really well with Donna's style, and that is this animal print sweater that I thrifted again many years ago from a vintage store in Gracia in Barcelona. What strikes me about this sweater though is the fact that because I've had this for almost 15 years and I have no idea when it's from, and I've worn it to death. It hasn't shown very much sign of wear. Yeah, there are some bobbles here and there, but especially like on the cuff, but really it's almost as good as new for something secondhand to be in such condition, and I've had it for multiple years. It's pretty special, I think. From the fit, again, it's quite long lined. It kind of reminds me of a 1970s or even 80s, maybe, because of the fit. But the pattern and the neck reminds me of the 70s. I can imagine Donna wearing this with a A-line skirt. Okay, here we go. A tartaned skirt. I think I remember buying these two together because they work. Weirdly, they work so well together, and both are secondhand vintage items. That is a typical outfit that I can see Donna wearing. Moving on. Okay, so our next Twin Peaks character, capable and kind police station assistant Lucy Moran. Her style is cute. She's got big oversized sweaters. She too is a fan of the Argyle sweater.
See? Lucy, this is Pete Martell. Lucy, put Harry on the horn.
Sheriff, it's Pete Martell up at the mill. I'm gonna transfer to the phone on the table by the red chair. The red chair against the wall. The little table with the lamp on it. The lamp that we moved from the corner. The black phone, not the brown phone.
And she has several Argyle looks. And I have found this modernized version, a boxy drop shoulder number with a centered Argyle motif, which I think brings the classic design to the 21st century rather than the pattern repeats. That's by Elizabeth Kind and available in sizes extra small to 5XL. So it's quite a nice inclusive pattern. But Lucy's seem to be a mock neck or a high neck, which I think could also be a good option for this style sweater. I also picked out the Argyle number 10 sweater vest that I think would be also Lucy adjacent. This is available in size 37.5 bust up to 50 inch. Not really the colors that the sample was done in. If the vest was knit using black yarn with red diamonds, I think that could be a great way to achieve the look. And this one is by Sandy Rosner. Another popular motif favoured by Lucy's character is the Dine or the Navajo style sweater. It's identified by their woven geometric shapes. I have found some amazing sweaters in this style, but unfortunately a lot are unavailable. For best practices, if I wanted to knit something like this, first and foremost, I would look for similar patterns from indigenous designers, such as Tressa Widener or Cecilia Losada. Alternatively, you can find a directory of indigenous designers on the BIPOC in Fiber website. For two looks similar to the ones worn by Lucy, I found this one by the Grey Sheep Co. Available in sizes extra small to extra large. Published in their book Sticker 2. It's not quite the same, but I love the detailing on the arms. And similarly, this modern take on the Aztec motif. It's a centered design by Les Tricots de Dilla, available as a paid pattern on Ravelry. Personally, I don't think either of those are as nice as the original, but perhaps if they were knit in more, let's say, vibrant colors, I think it could make the design come alive. And finally, the last of the main characters, we have ambitious femme fatale, Audrey Horne. Her style, I think, is the most evolved and modern out of all the characters I have talked about on this show thus far. Her range of looks goes from cutesy and girly to quite seductive. She's also the show's rich girl, so her garments always look high quality with luxurious materials. As exemplified in her signature look.
God, I love this music. Isn't it too dreamy?
These mini puff sleeve mock turtleneck sweaters that look to be cashmere. I like the Ash Slipover by Kadri as a similar look to those tops. Knit in perhaps a luxurious fibre, a cashmere or silk or, a mohair. You get the idea. The Kadri has some gorgeous finishings like the neat shoulder detail, which I think would align with Audrey's aesthetic. Though this pattern looks to be designed with oversize in mind, I would go for a look that's a little bit more fitted to suit Audrey's style. So that pattern ranges from extra small to 5XL. Or, of course, there is the Mohair Gallant, also by Kadri, that I think also fits the luxe look. And also that sweater is also available in XS to 5XL. These kinds of tops are usually paired with pleated, plaid, A-line skirts. Then there's the red ruffle top that's fun and flirty. I found a similar top by Maddie Cranley, which you could add sleeves to should you choose. And that's available in 82 centimeters to 142 centimeters. And for Audrey's best look, in my opinion, I have stretched for 3 pattern options for you because I think the look is just so special. So this top is a dark green grey with puff sleeves, elbow length sleeves and lace paneling. Each of the 3 patterns I have selected have given different options to do the paneling detail. So we have the As If Tee by Shay Johnson, and that's available in 32 to 66 inches. The Ivy Sweater by Sweater Babe ranges extra small to 3XL. Which says it is about 81 centimeters to 127 centimeters. And lastly, we have the Sophie by Sherry Christian, which is available in 32 to 47 inches. Hey guys, so it's the next day and I'm still not done talking about Twin Peaks, and I have 4 other shows to discuss. So what I've decided to do is split this idea into a series. So as I've already done the research for more TV shows and movies, I will post the second installment in February. So let's continue with the more sidelined characters, or the bit part characters in Twin Peaks who have great knitwear looks. Okay, so honorary character mentions. First of all goes to sawmill owner Josie Packard. She has great style and is just an all-round beaut. 2 of her pieces caught my eye. So there is a wool plaid jacket, and I found a pattern that is similar called the number 17 by Deborah Newton, and that is available in sizes S to XXL. Or there is the Natalia by Grace Jones, and states that the garment is one size, but it is an interesting construction, I think. I don't know how, I'm not sure how this works out to be one size, but I really like that tweed look. Josie also has this wool garter stitch coat jacket, and I found one by Anna Maria Utwas, and that is a sort of tailored looking jacket, which I think is very similar, and that is available in extra small to XXL. But recently I also saw on the Instagram profile of Isaiah that they also have a very similar garter stitched jacket also. So I will try to insert an image of that. Alternatively, there is the modern slouchy option of the more tailored garter stitched jacket, and that is the balloon jacket by Petite Knit, and that is available in extra small to extra large. Okay, next character. So we have a character called Margaret, aka the log woman, and she is essentially a middle-aged woman who carries around and talks to a log piece of wood.
The lady with the log. We call her the log lady.
We all have one in our small towns, don't we? Okay, so she wears a signature Navajo style jacket, and hers has the most motif on the arms and continued on the body of the cardigan. And I found the jacket called Featherwork by Geraldine Mason, and this is published in Deep Fall in the 2022 edition, and that is available in XS to 5XL. This also inspired me to search for American Indigenous designs by native designers, and I found a designer called the Native Knitter who has some beautiful pattern designs on her website. And finally, we have a man called Leo Johnson, and he wears a zigzag sweater that caught my eye. So if you wanted to knit something oversized for you, if you are female, or for the men in your life, you can opt for the drops. Well, I found a couple of designs by drops. I went down the drops rabbit hole, guys, and I found two similar men's patterns, and we have the drops 15 to 16. That is available in sizes small, medium and large. And then there is the drops 16 to 18, also available in small, medium to large. So it's the sort of bold graphic print style jumper. Hope you enjoyed the first episode of TV Knits. I hope to have the second episode of the series available middle of February. Please let me know in the comments which character style mentioned was your favorite, or whether you've been inspired to knit any of the patterns mentioned. Don't forget, I will have my regular knitting update available at the end of every month. But in the meantime, be sure to give me a like on this video or subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. But I'll be seeing you. Bye. John Maynard Keynes.
Correct.